Hi, now we look into the determinants of price elasticity of demand, better known as PED. Now, there are many interlinked determinants of the PED for a product. These factors include the following. Number one, substitution. Substitution is the key determinant of the PED for a good or service. In general, the greater the number and availability of close substitutes there are for a good or service, the higher the value of its PED will tend to be. This is because such products are easily replaced if the price increases due to the large number of close substitutes that are readily available. By contrast, products with few substitutes such as toothpicks, private education, and prescribed medicines have relatively price inelastic demand. Number two, income. The proportion of a consumer's income that is spent on the product also affects the value of its PED. If the price of a box of toothpicks or a packet of salt were to double, the percentage change in price will be so insignificant to the consumer's overall income that quantity demanded would be hardly affected, if at all. By contrast, if the price of an overseas cruise holiday were to rise by 25% from $10,000 to $12,500 per person, this would discourage many customers because the extra $2,500 per ticket has a larger impact on a person's disposable income. Therefore, the larger the proportion of income that the price of a product represents, the greater the value of its PEDs tends to be. Of course, those on extremely high levels of income, such as Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Warren Buffett, the three richest men on the planet, are probably not responsive to any change in the market price of goods and services. Three, necessity. The degree of necessity of a good or service will affect the value of its PED. Products that are regarded as essential, such as food, fuel, medicines, housing, and transportation, tend to be relatively priced inelastic because households need these goods and services and so will continue to purchase them, even if their prices rise. By contrast, the demand for luxury products is price elastic as these are not necessities for most households. The degree of necessity also depends on the time frame in question. For example, the demand for fresh flowers on Valentine's Day or on Mother's Day is relatively price inelastic compared to other days. The same applies to peak or off-peak times. For example, many countries operate public transport systems that charge more for traveling during peak time. This is partly due to overcrowding problems during such times, but also because the transport operators know that peak time travel is more of a necessity than off-peak travel. Number four, habits, addictions, fashions, and tastes. If a product is habit-forming, such as tobacco, or highly fashionable, its PED tends to be relatively price inelastic. Similarly, people who are extremely devoted to a particular hobby, such as sports and music, are more willing to pay even at higher prices. Hence, the demand from these people is less sensitive to changes in price. loyalty, marketing can have a huge impact on the buying habits of customers. Effective advertising campaigns for certain products not only help to shift the demand curve outwards to the right, but can also reduce the price elasticity of demand for the product. Customers who are loyal to particular brands are less sensitive to a change in the prices, partly because these brands are demanded out of habit and personal preference. In other words, they are the default choice over rival brands. Examples of brands with a loyal customer following include Coca-Cola, Apple, Samsung, Chanel, Toyota, and Mercedes-Benz. Number 6. Time. The period of time under consideration can affect the value of PED because people need time to change their habits and behavioral norms. Over time, they can adjust their demand based on more permanent price changes by seeking out alternative products. For example, parents with children in private fee-paying schools are unlikely to withdraw the children from school if this establishment raise school fees because this would be very disruptive to the children's learning. Similarly, owners of private motor vehicles are not likely to get rid of their vehicles simply because of higher fuel prices. However, if there is a continuing hike in prices over time, both parents and vehicle owners may seek alternatives. Hence, demand tends to be more price elastic in the long run. Number 7. Durability. Some products such as fresh milk are perishable but need to be replaced, so they will continue to be bought even if prices rise. By contrast, if the price of consumer durable products such as household furniture, 4K televisions, and motor vehicles increases, these households may decide to postpone replacing these items due to the high prices involved in such purchases. Therefore, the more durable a product is, the more price elastic its demand tends to be. Number 8. The cost of switching. There may be costs involved for customers who wish to switch between brands or products. In the case of high switching costs, the demand for the product is less sensitive to changes in price. That is, it tends to be price inelastic. For example, manufacturers of smartphones, laptops, and digital cameras make it more difficult for customers to switch between rival brands by supplying different power chargers, memory cards, and software. Similarly, mobile phone users and satellite television subscribers are bound by lengthy contracts, so that switching between rival brands or services is made less easy. Such barriers to switching therefore make customers less responsive to higher product prices. Number 9. The breadth of definition of the product. If good or service is very broadly defined, such as food rather than fruit, apples, or salmon, then demand will be more price inelastic. For example, there is clearly no real substitute to food or housing, so demand for this product will be very price inelastic. However, it is perhaps more useful to measure the price elasticity of demand for specific brands or products, such as carbonated soft drinks, Australian beef, and IGCSE exports.